Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How is everybody? Are you having a good day today?
Yes, ma'am, I'm good.
Yes, ma'am.
It's good to hear. So, for today, we're gonna have a new lesson. So, as you can see on your screens, we have here the present simple negative. So, before we proceed to our lesson, we should first have a quick recap of what we have discussed last time. So, last time we talked about the present simple affirmative. The present simple affirmative tells a fact or a truth about the subject. While in this lesson, in the present simple negative, we are going to be talking about how the negative constructions are used in a sentence, which makes the present simple negative form. So at this point, I'm going to be needing your participation. So I'm going to be showing a series of pictures. It could be a picture of a food or a vegetable or a picture that shows an action. So it basically could show anything. So are you ready, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
boss.
after I flashed the pictures, I'm gonna call someone to answer my question. So is that clear? Are you
Yes,
ready? Okay, so here's the first picture. What can you see in this slide? What is the picture that is flashed on your screens?
ma'am. It's like
Pizza, boss.
That is correct.
Pizza.
It is a pizza. So, Esther,
Yes, ma'am.
do you like a pizza?
Yes, ma'am. I like pizza.
Okay, so Esther likes pizza. How about milkshakes? Do you
Yes,
like?
ma'am. I like milkshake.
Okay, so we knew that Esther likes pizza and milkshakes. But how about when we combined pizza and milkshake, a pizza flavored milkshake, if you will. So would you still like it, Esther? Do you like a pizza flavored milkshake?
No, ma'am. I don't like a pizza flavored milkshake.
Yeah, because why? Why don't you like it? Because it might be, a weird combination of flavors.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Esther. How about the next picture? Who would wanna answer this one?
Ma'am, can I?
Okay, Camille. So what can you see in the picture?
A picture of squash.
That is correct. So, Amy, do you like a squash? Do you eat a squash?
Yes, ma'am, I like squash.
Okay, so so Amy likes squash. So how about this one? Candies. Do you like candies, Amy?
Yes, ma'am, I like candies.
Okay, so Amy likes candies as well. But how about we mix these two into, like a squash flavored candy, a squash candy? Would you still like it, Amy? Do you like
No, ma'am.
candy? Why?
No.
Why don't you like a squash candy?
It looks weird.
Yeah, and it might taste weird also. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, so thank you very much. So Amy doesn't like, a squash candy. How about this one? How about this picture?
Ma'am, this is the swim.
Yeah, it shows a picture of a man and he is swimming. That
Swimming.
is right. So, Isaac, do you like swimming?
I don't like swimming, ma'am.
Oh, you don't like swimming. You don't like swimming. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Why don't you like swimming?
I don't like swimming because I don't know how to swim, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Isaac doesn't like swimming because he doesn't know how to swim. Okay, thank you very much, Isaac. How about this one? Can I have a volunteer, please? What is the picture flashed on the screen?
Ma'am,
Yes, Amy?
it looks like a um, scary figure.
Yes, there's a television, and then it looks like a scary movie is on the television. Amy, let me ask you, do you like watching scary movies? Do you like scary movies?
I don't like scary movies, ma'am.
Oh, so Amy doesn't like scary movies. So why don't you like scary movies, Amy? So I'm assuming that you don't watch scary movies at all. Is that right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I
thank
don't like them because they're scary.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Amy. How about this one? Can I have a volunteer from the class, please? What can you see on your screens?
Man dislikes sports.
Yes. So the different sports balls, it represents the different sports balls. So Esther, do you like sports?
I don't like sports, man.
Okay, so you don't like sports, or you don't play any sport. Is that correct? That you don't play volleyball, or you don't play badminton, or you don't play table tennis. Is that correct, Esther?
Yes, man.
Okay, so Esther doesn't play any sports. Okay, so let us go through the responses that we gathered from your classmates. So in this set of pictures, your classmates told us that these statements. So let me read them for you. I like pizza. I like milkshake. I don't like pizza flavored milkshake. While in the next set of pictures, the squash and the candies, your classmate told us that these sentences. I like squash, I like candies, but I don't like squash candy. In this picture, so we have here the sentences I like swimming, I don't like swimming, and I don't know how to swim. In this part, we have here the picture of a television with a scary movie on it. So we gathered these responses. I like scary movies. I don't like scary movies. I don't watch scary movies. And lastly, the pictures that shows the different sports ball. I like sports. I don't like sports. I don't play any sport. So all in all, here are the responses or the answers of your classmates. So in the left part, we have here the statements that expresses a positive attitude toward the things that I've shown in the screen, like the pizza, milkshake, the squash candies, and so on. While on the right side, we have here the statements that express dislike about something. Like as I remember, Esther told us earlier that she doesn't like a pizza flavored milkshake. So we from that activity we knew that Esther doesn't like pizza flavored milkshake. Um, we also knew that Amy doesn't like squash candy. Is that right, Amy? You don't like a squash candy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Isaac told us earlier that he doesn't like swimming because he doesn't know how to swim. Jeff also told us that he doesn't like scary movies. So since he doesn't like scary movies, he doesn't watch it at all. And lastly, Camille told us that she doesn't like sports. So all in all, here are the sentences, particularly the negative sentences that we gathered from your responses. Now, what I want you to do at this point is that I want you to read each and every sentence in this set of statements. I'm giving you a minute or two, I think, to read them, and I want you to make your own observations about which words occurred multiple times. You know which words were used in these sentences. So afterwards, I'm going to be calling some of you to share your observations. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your time starts now. You can read them. Are you done? Are you done reading the sentences, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here we can observe that from the statement "I don't like pizza flavored milkshake," we changed it into "Esther doesn't like pizza flavored milkshake," and this change in the form is very observable, very noticeable in the sentences. Is that right, guys? So after reading them one at a time, after um, scrutinizing each words in the sentences in these sentences, so what are your observations about which words have the frequent appearances in these set of statements? Which words occur multiple times? What do you think?
Ma'am, I think the words don't and doesn't.
That is correct. Very good, Isaac. So, as we can see, as highlighted in the slide, the words don't and doesn't occurred in each and every sentence in this set of examples. Did you observe the same thing? So these words are actually negative contractions, but they are also called auxiliary verbs. Did you get that, guys? So don't and doesn't are auxiliary verbs. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so after pointing out the auxiliary verbs that are used in these statements, now I want let's ask Aimee, what do these auxiliary verbs contribute to the meaning of the sentence? Do they affect the meaning of the sentence at all, Aimee?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So how do they affect the meaning of the sentence?
They make the sentence negative.
That is correct because look at this. Look at the first sentence in the left part. I don't like pizza flavored milkshake. If I omit the word don't from the sentence, it would be I like pizza flavored milkshake. So it would be an affirmative sentence. Is that right? That if I take away the word don't, it would be an affirmative sentence. Did you observe the same thing? And it is
Yes, ma'am.
applicable to each and every sentence here. If I omit the word don't in the second sentence as well, it would be an affirmative sentence. I like squash candy. But if we inserted don't um, after the subject and before the main verb, it would automatically change the meaning of the sentence. It would turn into a negative sentence. So that is what the negative contractions or the auxiliary verbs do to our sentences. They make our sentences negative because don't and doesn't are both made up of two words, the word do and not, and the word does and not. So, did you get that, everybody? Do you have any clarifications, any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much for responding. Now, I want you to pay attention to the particular uses of the don't and the doesn't. What did you notice about that? Esther,
Yes, ma'am.
what did you notice
Um,
about the use of don't and doesn't in these sentences?
ma'am, I think the word doesn't is used when the subject is singular, just like the sentence in the right column.
That is correct. So, Esther said that doesn't is used when the subject is singular, and that is true in the right section of our slide because as we can observe, Esther is a singular noun. Amy is a singular noun. Isaac is a singular noun as well, while he and she are singular pronouns. However, this definition or this explanation about the use of doesn't um, is insufficient because when you look at in the left portion of our slide, we have here the pronoun I, right? I is actually also a singular pronoun. It is also a first person singular pronoun. However, I has a special grammatical case wherein we usually use a plural verb after it. So that's why we use the word don't in the left portion of our slide. As you can see, I don't like pizza flavored milkshake. I don't like squash candy. So now here we know that don't is actually used when the subject is plural. Did you get that, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if I say that my friend and I love going to concerts. So what is the subject in the sentence that I've just given? Anyone? My friend and I love going to concerts. That is an affirmative sentence, right? But when we change it into a negative sentence, it would be my friend and I don't love going to concert. So what is the subject in that sentence? The subject is my friend and I. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So how many subjects do we have? Do we have one subject only? Or do we have two?
We have two subjects.
That's correct. So since we have two subjects and we are in the present simple negative, we used the word don't. My friend and I don't love going to concerts. So that is how the use of doesn't and don't differ from each other. So did you understand that, guys? Do you have any question, clarification?
No question, ma'am.
None, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. So now, Isaac, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me ask you about still the observations that you've had. So, have you noticed other verbs or action words in a sentence?
Yes, ma'am. I
Oh,
noticed
great.
that there is another word after the words don't and doesn't.
That is correct. So, as you can see, take a look at the word after the auxiliary verbs. So, we have here the word like and know and watch and play. Do you see them, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those words are actually called the main verbs. As you can see, it is preceded by an auxiliary verb. So it stays in its base form. So did you notice the same thing that main verbs are in their base form? Because we do not we do not have anything attached to them. We do not have like a D or an ED or an S. Right? Did you notice that? I don't like pizza flavored milkshake. I don't know. I don't watch. I don't play. Did you observe the same thing? Did you see that, guys, in our sentences?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now take a look at these sentences once more and let's talk about when do these statements happen? Do they happen in the past? What do you think? Or do they happen in the future? Or do they happen in the present? What do you think? Yes, Jeff? Are you already there? Jeff? Is Jeff around? How about you, Aimee?
Ma'am,
What do
I think they happen in the present.
They happen in the present, that is correct. And that means that these sentences are in the present tense. So and earlier we discussed that they also contain the negative contraction or the auxiliary verbs don't and doesn't, which makes these sentences in the present simple negative form. Did you get that, guys? Did you get the concepts that I introduced to you using these examples?
Yes, ma'am.
Did
Yes.
you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you have any question, any clarification, or you want to clarify something in the lesson? Okay, so I think you don't have any questions or clarification. So now, can you see my slide at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What do you see on
ma'am.
your slides? What do you see on your screens?
Let's
It
practice.
says
Okay,
let's
so
practice.
now, after studying the examples that we got from the responses from our activity earlier, now we are gonna practice what we've learned for today. So, in this slide, we have two statements. The first statement seems to be a complete statement. It is an affirmative sentence actually. Kelly likes dirty ice cream. The second sentence seemed to lack something. Now I want you to supply the missing auxiliary verb that will make this sentence a negative sentence. Did you get my instruction, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so who wants to answer this one?
Ma'am, I want to answer.
Okay, Esther.
I think answer is Kelly doesn't like uh, dirty ice cream.
That is correct. So the answer for this one is Kelly doesn't like dirty ice cream because in our examples earlier we used doesn't for a single subject like Esther doesn't like pizza flavored pizza. I mean pizza flavored milkshake. Isn't that right? We had that kind of example earlier. So we also have here the second sentence in this particular slide. So it also seems incomplete. So here I think we should supply the missing pronoun. So who can answer this one? This is still related to the sentence, to the first sentence.
Ma'am,
Ma'am.
I think the answer is she doesn't eat dirty ice cream.
That is correct. In the second sentence in this slide, we are going to be using the pronoun she because it pertains to Kelly, which is a name of a lady, of a woman, right? So thank you so much. How about in this slide? Frank fears wild animals. So In order to make this statement a negative sentence, what auxiliary verb should we use? Who
Ma'am,
wants to? Yes, I mean.
it must be doesn't.
That is correct. Frank doesn't fear wild animals. So, in the sentence below it, we have two blanks. So, I think uh, we should fill in the blanks with the correct pronoun and the correct main verb for this one. So, who wants to answer this one?
Ma'am,
Okay, Amy, is that you?
yes. So our pronoun here is he, doesn't, and our main verb is fear. He doesn't fear snakes and alligators.
So I'm is correct. So the pronoun that should be used in this sentence is he because Frank pertains to a man, right? And we use the main verb fear because in the previous examples we did not put anything or we did not attach anything to the main verb, right? Okay, moving on. My mother and I enjoy quilting. So how do we make this sentence a negative sentence or a sentence in the present simple negative? What auxiliary verb should we use? Does or doesn't? What do you think?
Ma'am, I
Yes, answer. Is that you?
yes, ma'am. I think answer is doesn't.
What
No,
do you
ma'am.
think is the answer?
Answer is don't.
Okay, so don't because again we have two subjects here, right? My mother and I. Did you see that, Esther?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have okay, so that is right. So the answer is don't. How about the correct pronoun that we should use in this in the second sentence?
Ma'am, I think use way.
That is correct. So we should use the pronoun we to complete the second sentence. Thank you very much, Esther. How about this set of sentences? We have here the sentence the ballerinas dance gracefully. And we also have here an incomplete sentence. The ballerinas blank dance gracefully. So what word should we use to make this sentence a negative sentence? What do you think?
Uh, Ma'am, I think the answer should be the ballerinas don't dance gracefully.
That is correct. Very good, Isaac. So we have here the subject ballerinas, which has the word s in the end, which indicates plurality. Is that right, guys? Did you see the same thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So, what is the pronoun that should be used for this one? What is the pronoun?
I think the pronouns should be they don't dance gracefully.
That is
Ma'am.
correct as well. So, here we use the auxiliary verb don't in the first sentence, which makes our sentence the ballerinas don't dance gracefully, and in the second sentence we use the pronoun they, which makes the sentence they don't dance gracefully. Very good, Isaac. How about in this one? We have here a picture of a girl and baskets of vegetables. Now, how do you formulate a negative sentence out of this context, out of the pictures that I am showing you right now? What negative sentences could you formulate? Anyone?
Ma'am,
Yes, Aimee?
my sentence is the girl doesn't like vegetables.
That is correct because from the look on her face, she doesn't seem like she enjoys eating vegetables. Is that right, Annie? Did you observe the same thing from the look on that on the face of the girl?
Yes.
Yeah. So the girl doesn't like vegetables, and she doesn't eat vegetables because obviously she doesn't like it, so she doesn't eat it. So very good, Amy. How about this one? We have here a boy who seems to be sad and a thought bubble, uh, which has um, a bicycle on it and a boy riding a bicycle. What do you think does this picture imply?
Ma'am, I think I think this picture means the boy doesn't know how to read a bike.
Okay, it could be so. It could be that the boy doesn't know how to ride a bike, and um, given the context, we can see that um, the the children behind him or the kids behind him could be his friends. So he could be feeling a little bit sad that he couldn't join them for biking. That's why he makes that face. He makes that sad face. So the boy doesn't know how to ride a bike. It could also be that he doesn't have a bicycle. That's why he couldn't learn how to ride a bike. So did you get that, guys? Or did you have something else, uh, something else to say about this picture? Or no? So should we proceed to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you very much. How about this one? We can see a messy place, a messy room, messy cabinet.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you say about this one?
I, s- I saw my say room and my say book.
Yes. Yes. So what negative sentence could you generate from or could you formulate based on this pictures, on this context?
Mm, I think this girl doesn't like to clean her room.
Okay, that is also that is an acceptable sentence. So the woman doesn't clean her room often because, as we can see, there are a lot of mess on the floor, right? And the clothes are not organized in the closet, right? So the bed is not fixed. So the woman, it is obvious that the woman doesn't clean her room often. So do you have any question, guys, regarding our lesson for today?
None, ma'am.
Now, ma'am,
Okay, so if
No,
not,
ma'am.
that is the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for participating, guys. I hope you learned something today. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye, class.
goodbye.
Bye, ma'am.
Goodbye and thank you, ma'am.